Hello, forever friends and family. I would like to welcome everybody to our webinar, Building an Empire, session number 13. Today is Monday, April 5th, 2021, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But today is a special Monday because I would like you to see picture of the global rally at home. And it will start in 2 days, 12 hours and 28 minutes, 27 minutes. Timer is up front of you. I hope that everybody could hear me and everybody could see my screen. Just somebody of the readers, some of the reader, Isaac, please, you will be first reader. Confirm that you could see my screen and you could hear me properly.
Yes, I can see your screen and I can hear you.
Very good. Thank you very much. So again, I would like to emphasize that in 2 days and 12 hours and 28 minutes, our global rally at homes will start. And I recommend and advise you to purchase tickets right here on the button. If you click on the button, I posted link on Forever Living NYC to purchase your ticket and all details about Forever Global Rally 21 right here. We don't want to review it now. You could do it on your own. All details, schedule, questions, and answers. Do you have any questions regarding this event, which start on Thursday? If you have it, please unmute your microphone and go ahead. I assume that nobody has any questions. Very good. Okay. So let's move forward. Let me close this screen and we're going to continue to read book Building an Empire. We have a book, right, Isaac?
Yes, Building an Empire, the most complete blueprint to build a massive network marketing business, Brian Carruthers.
Excellent. So let's continue to read from this chapter. Isaac, please go ahead.
Inspect what you expect. You want your team to be doing PBRs with every new recruit they bring in. If they would do this every time, your business would take off and you would be well into the 6 figures a year zone. So you teach it, preach it, scream it from the stage, and repeat it on every conference call. You expect that they are getting the PBRs done, but it doesn't work that easy. You have to roll up your sleeves and go inspect what is happening. Get into the trenches and see exactly how your field leaders are getting their recruits started. See if they are doing a game plan interview to establish the recruit's goal, making their list book a PBRs and PCC, PCC date, and contacting and inviting. Only someone who wants to leave their financial future in their downline's hands, excuse me, would trust that everything is being done in plan. You do not want to micromanage or be overbearing like a boss, but rather be their coach. In a caring way, ask to work alongside them through the process with a few of their next recruits to ensure the system is working properly for them. A good follower of the system
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. Let me come back. I don't know what happened. Hold on, please. That's it.
You do not want to micromanage or be overbearing like a boss, but rather be their coach. In a caring way, ask to work alongside them through the process with a few of their new recruits to ensure the system is working properly for them. A good follower of the system will be excited to have their upline mentor there to assist them in their pursuit of mastery. Just be careful not to be too critical and always praise progress. Even if they are messing it up, encourage them by recognizing them for their efforts. Then offer some course correcting ideas to help them achieve better results. Tell stories of others who were doing that activity the same way and how they did these few things differently and are now enjoying great success. Using stories always gets your point across in a way that resonates and sticks with them. Your team will receive you well when they know you have their best interest and heart in everything that you say and do. This trust is not given to you by title, but rather you must earn it over time by them watching you serve them and others. Always be a servant leader, and you will win their hearts. When their hearts are with you, they will follow you and listen to your coaching. One other important nugget worth mentioning. While the golden rule is that negative should only go up, it's important that you don't do this so often that your upline only hears from you when you've got problems and rarely hears anything positive from you. This will strain the relationship and they will cringe when they see your number pop up on their phone. As parents, we need to discipline and say no to our kids quite often, but we should consciously try to overwhelm the critiques of them with as many yeses and as much positive as we can. In the same way, we intentional about finding opportunities to be your upline mentor's favorite person to work with because you bring more positivity, excitement to them than negativity challenges. When people ask me, Brian, who do you work with the most? My answer is I work with the people who make me feel the best. Chapter 6, the mental game. Act as if. I think one of the things that helped me finally get traction in my business is when I started to act as if I was already one of the top money earners in the company. I began to carry myself with confidence. I walked into a room with my shoulders broad and chest puffed out. I was proud of who I was or was becoming. I saw myself as top team builder and coach. My affirmation were taking root. People started to see me as I saw myself. It was so cool to see. I wasn't talking it till I made it. I wasn't faking it till I made it. I truly felt this way, like I was a star. Prospects began to listen to me. My team started to follow me. Look, nobody wants to follow a dud. If you are not confident, why would you expect anyone to respect you or follow you? How can anyone be sold on you if you aren't sold on yourself? What I did was project the confidence and belief I had in my awesome company, product, comp plan, and mentors onto myself. They were all a part of what I represented. That was me, and I wore it well. Act as if you are the top recruiter. Act as if you are a respected leader. Act as if you have a huge team you are leading. Act as if you are creating wealth. Act as if you have helped many to succeed. Now, the trick is to do this and act this way with humility, sincerity, and a servant's heart. This is tricky and hard to do. Constantly check yourself. Be confident, but not cocky. Don't drag your past forward. How is your thoughts, process, and mindset affecting your recruiting? In other words, what are you projecting onto them. The upline's past can quite often affect the present. Let's say the last 10 people you recruited did nothing and quit. They wouldn't even do a PBR in their home to get launched. Maybe they did nothing in a business and quit. Now, you have these failures in the back of your mind when you are out trying to attract new recruits. Your own belief that they can succeed is diminished. But let's assume you are successful in recruiting your next person. It is likely that they will perform in the same fashion. Why? Because what you project onto your recruits is what they will do. If your beliefs has been shaken by the failures of your past recruits, you will unconsciously transfer your lack of belief into your new recruits. Your recruits will sense your doubt that they will make it happen. So guess what? They won't. You will see the self-fulfillment of your own prophecy. Positive expectancy is crucial. You must expect each and every recruit to win. I know it may be hard to be positive when the last 10 recruits were duds, but it is imperative that you wipe your mindset clean of the past misses and focus on the shot you are in the minds of taking. Every day is a new day. Every game is a new game. Every recruit is a new recruit. How do you feel when your spouse, parents, or upline expresses their sincere belief in you? Doesn't that make you feel empowered and unstoppable? Of course it does. When your recruits are new, they need to borrow from your belief in them because they mostly don't believe in themselves yet. As uplines, we must empower our recruits. If they sense even in the last bit that we don't believe they will be successful, they will prove it right. They will prove us right. I have seen this work in both directions. Empowering upline leaders develop amazing leaders under them through projection of strong belief in their people, while weak upline leaders kills every recruiting who comes on board. As an upline, what you believe matters. If you believe in PBRs, you will be 5 times more successful in getting your recruits to do them. If you are not seeing PBR happening within your team, then buck stops at you. You are the leader, and what you believe, do, and teach perpetuates. As sponsors, we have to constantly read personal development books on belief, attitude, leadership, and motivation. Our teams will thrive when we convey this to them. We need to be cognizant of how we're coming across to our teams. Just remember this: if I believe in them, they will believe in themselves and in me. What do I do with my recruits starting with day one? Here's my plan. Day one, upon filing out their application, I do a few welcome calls with other team members. I do a short game plan interview to establish their why, start making their list, and send them to the Getting Started page on my team website. Here they learn about PBRs and PCCs. I also schedule them to get to a local briefing and training class. Day two, follow up to schedule their PBR and PCC to happen within the first 3 to 5 days. I always have a good story to share with them about the product and a business success story. Day three, call to check in, keep them excited about the business, and keep them moving in the process. Day 4-5, inspection call to check on progress. Share another story, map out what it will take to promote them to the next level in the comp plan. PBR and PCC should have taken place. From this point on, I continue to call them to keep them focused on the business. I know I have to distract them from the distractions in their lives. I keep sharing stories. I promote their next local event, the next team conference call, etc. I remain in constant communication with them. Otherwise, they feel orphaned and will quit. Massive communication equal massive income.
Hold on for a second, Isaac, please. Sorry for interruption, but I would like to emphasize this one. My point is very simple. If we place one phone call to prospect in a month, we should not expect next month to make like $300 or $500. Massive communication equal massive income. So we should connect to as many people as possible and do not get stuck with any person. Somebody will, somebody won't. So what? Somebody is waiting. We always should remember this formula. Again, somebody will, SW. Somebody won't. So what? SW. Somebody is waiting. If we remember that, it will be much easier for us to call next person. When to call next person? As soon as possible. So again, massive communication equal massive income. Please go ahead, Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you. My goal is to create a new friendship in conjunction with a business relationship. As a good sponsor, I also give them Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business, CD, and Darren Hardy, Making the Shift, CD. Find this on the resource tab at www.fostermentor.com. Your company most likely has a CD training program that comes in your kit geared towards your specific business. I want them putting good information into their heads every day. So I ask them to turn off the radio and create their Drive Time University. These tools will create the proper mindset and philosophies in them daily when I cannot be there to teach them personally. So I get tools doing some teaching for me. The question I ask myself daily is, would I want to be sponsored by me? My answer is always yes. I'm proud to say that I impress myself with my caring and constant efforts to be the ultimate sponsor. If I could have me as my sponsor, I feel like I would already be making $1 million a month. What's awesome to think about is how great the network marketing profession would soar if more people become great sponsors, breathing even more success.
Isaac, thank you very much. Please take a break. And I would like to ask Helen Osipov, manager from Brooklyn, to continue to read. Thank you, Isaac. Helen, please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Stop selling, start solving. Nobody likes to be sold anything. Do you? People like to buy, but not to be sold. So it only makes sense that as network marketers, we stop trying to sell prospects on our product or business, but rather help them to recognize problems in their life that our product is opportunity can solve. This goes with the saying, those who solve the biggest problems cash the biggest paychecks. For example, if you are selling a nutritional product, don't focus on all the ingredients. Focus on any health, energy, weight challenges the prospect has and wants to fix, and show how this product has helped others fix the very same problem. Or maybe you have a service that makes life easier.
Helen, I'm so sorry for interruption. I would like to ask you to read this section again. For example, please.
For example, If you are selling a nutritional product, don't focus on all the ingredients. Focus on any health, energy, weight challenges the prospect has and wants to fix, and show how this product has helped others fix the very same problem.
It's a very, I'm sorry, hold on for a second, Helen. It's a very valuable section, special, it's written for Forever Living products, right?
Right.
Because we have a nutritional products, we have a weight management, we have a health, energy, weight challenges, and we could share in the proper way. Do we have to share with our prospect ingredients? Would they remember that?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. But if you show them picture of yourself or your friend who lost, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 10 pounds, they will remember that and they could compare with themselves.
Yes.
So again, do not emphasize on ingredients and details of the products. Please go ahead, Helen.
Or maybe you have a service that makes life easier. Focus less on the service offering and more on the direct benefits to eliminating stress in the prospect's life. Or maybe your product saves them money on something they already pay for. Don't just focus on the monetary savings, but go further and ask what they would do with a newfound $50 a month. The most effective way to find out about your prospects' problems is to be vulnerable and share the problems you have or had before using your product or before you started in the business. And like we discussed earlier, try to relate and get them to say me too. When you remember that we have our mouth and 2 ears, focus on listening twice as much as you do talking. Ask your prospect questions that will lead them to discuss problems they face. Once they open up and share, you must resist the temptation to immediately jump all over them with your sales pitch. Keep throwing it back to them by asking them more about the problem and what ways they have tried to solve it. Ask them how important it is for them to find a solution. They will sell themselves on the need for what you want them to buy, and then you can let them buy it. Customers.
Helen, I'm sorry. Would you please read this section again slowly, please?
When you remember that we have one mouth and 2 ears, focus on listening twice as much as you do talking. Ask your prospect questions that will lead them to discuss problems they face. Once they open up and share, you must resist the temptation to immediately jump all over them with your sales pitch. Keep throwing it back to them by asking them more about the problem and what ways they have tried to solve it. Ask them how important it is for them to find a solution. They will sell themselves on the need for what you want them to buy, and then you can let them buy it.
I'm sorry for interruption, please, but I would like to emphasize again, there is a key to our success. When we talk to prospect first time, that's a formula for your success. One mouth and 2 ears. What does it mean? We should talk twice less than our prospect. We have to find out what they need. What are they looking for? What kind of pain they experience? We have to find out how much money they want to develop or generate if they want to. Then show them how we could be able to help them. So remember, talk twice less than your prospect. Please go ahead, Helen.
Customers who buy will stay your customers longer. They will be more likely to find reasons to like what they bought versus finding remorse for what they were sold. Happy customers are also likely to give you referrals. Follow up with every customer and ensure that they are happy. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you are in the trust zone with them, they will feel comfortable referring people to you. And often they will convert from just being a customer to being a distributor. Overcoming the bombshells, quitters, no-shows, company changes. One of the few guarantees that I can make to you is that you will encounter many challenges along your journey to the top in this business. Prospects will stand you up at the meetings. This is something you just have to get used to. Players on your team will quit after you have poured months or years of time and energy into them. This is much, much harder to handle. The company may even make directional changes or decisions that impact your business. This might make you feel like you are not in control. Your upline might leave for a new career path or business, leaving you feeling like an orphan. I can honestly say that I have endured all of the above and many times over. Was each incident fun? Of course not. Did I enjoy dealing with each occurrence as I was in the thick of it? Not really. Am I glad they happened? Well, if I could keep them from happening, I would have avoided them. But that's life. We cannot choose the problems that life or our business will throw at us. We can decide how we will respond to each challenge and decide to grow from each experience. We shouldn't wish for things to be easier. Rather, we should wish to be better at dealing with them. In the face of each problem, I had to make the human decision of fight or flight. Because my why was so strong, I chose fight each time. I was not going to shrink and run away. That would only ensure defeat and failure, and me staying the smaller person. By fighting through it, growing through it, I knew that I would become bigger and I would stay on course to achieve success. Half of my leaders quit along the way, and I had to go recruit afresh and build new ones. There were times that my business hit plateaus and even declined, so I had to double up my efforts to regain momentum. My company made changes for the good of the distributors, but that still required adjustments every time. People who had left my company decided to turn and attack our credibility to try and sway others to follow them to other businesses. I had to take the high road and not defame their character and let what's right happen in due course. Believe me, I have been through it all, and to this very day, I'm proud that I had the resolve and stick to it backbone to ride it out. I became better. I feel that is why I have earned more than 15 million. If I had tucked my tail and run as I encountered any one of these challenges, I would be like the masses that do not achieve the big success they dream about. So my advice to every builder is this. Pick your business, stay on the path, grow through each and every obstacle or crisis, and come out the other side closer to your ultimate success. The only way to fail is to quit or let others knock you off course. Be strong, be brave, and be persistent.
Helen, please take a break. Thank you for your reading. And I would like to ask to continue to read the most reliable manager from New Jersey, Iris Cristobal. Iris, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Alex. Your mind will play tricks on you. There are many days you will feel like you are riding a roller coaster. Just remember, this is normal. There is no way around it. You will have mental ups and downs in this journey of building your business. You get started in a business and you are fired up. You have huge dreams and expectations. Then you get your first no, and your dream gets shattered. You stay with it and go through some more rejection and finally recruit a great partner. Woohoo! You're back on the top of the world. Then that recruit quits the next week. You are back in the dumps. But then you recruit someone else and you see hope again. And maybe your business starts to get traction and grows. But after a while, 90% of your downline has disappeared and your mind plays tricks on you. Now you wonder if it's even worth recruiting anyone else. If most are only to or you're going to quit anyway, now the phone weighs 300 pounds and you just can't get motivated to make calls. If this is going to happen regardless of who you are and how good you are, what should you do? Immediately call your upline for some inspiration. Do not delay. Make this call fast. Let the doctor kill the infection. Here's what else I do. I remind myself daily that there are countless millionaires living their dream lives because they built their network marketing business and didn't quit. They made the calls and worked their way up from where when they were down. So I did the same. I keep the dream in front of me every day. Anytime I encountered a belief shaker, when something happened that shook my belief, I immediately reminded myself that those things happen all the time to every networker and every top earner. I am always working in my own belief to keep it strong, just like we have to work on our muscles to keep them strong. I feed my brain success stories constantly. We have to, especially because we hear so many negative stories and see so many people quit. I do not let losers and quitters suck me into their camp. I remain a warrior. Soldiers quit when they get injured. Warriors quit when they've won. I don't dwell on the 50 calls I made yesterday without recruiting anyone. I just know that I am one recruit away from another financial explosion in my business. That next recruit might be my next stud who wants to run with me, or maybe will be my seventh one from now. All I know is that the studs will show up if I talk to enough people. History has proven this. I have no doubt about it. I wish I could tell you that I had some magic belief shot that I could inject you with, and you would never experience doubt in your business. Just remember, those who solve the biggest problems will cash the biggest paychecks. This means if you can handle all of the challenges that your business will throw at you, and if you can turn around and help your team to effectively handle the same, you will be wildly successful. How could you teach your team to get through the fires if you haven't gone through them yourself? So the goal is for you to stay the course and keep your team on course with you. This mental game is 90% the key to success in network marketing. People often question our industry or business model, pointing out the ratio of people who fail. Their ignorant assessment stems from them not knowing how to evaluate the business model in the first place. They think that 90% of the people will fail because the business is designed that way, when in fact, the network marketing model is designed for everyone to win. But only 10 to 20% actually stay the course and see it through to success. Do people attack the real estate brokerage business? Of course they don't. Yet 90% of the people who get a real estate license never sell one house. Should brokers not keep recruiting more agents? Why doesn't the public get outraged over that? Business model. The broker makes overrides on all the agents they recruit on their sales. But those agents are also constantly churning and quitting. One more very important thing. Don't bring forth your past failures and project them into your next recruits. If the last 5 recruits did nothing or quit, you are likely to unconsciously convey your lack of belief that your new recruit will succeed. That's not only unfair to them, it also guarantees that you will kill your chances of winning. Stories inspire. By now, I hope you have heard many times that facts tell, so stories sell. This is true. Facts do not spark emotion. When you were put into bed at night, did your parents tell you bedtime facts or bedtime stories? Stories are told because they entertain, teach lessons, stir emotion, and deliver a message far better than rattling off dry facts. Stories can package facts and deliver with relevancy into people's lives. So it matters little to your success how much you know about your comp plan, your product details, or other specifics. What matters most is your ability to steer someone's emotion. Can you inspire someone to act? Stories of how people have benefited by using your product or how their lifestyle changed by building a business in your company is what will sell or recruit people. You want them to say, I want those results too, or I can do what they have done and change my life as well. Your stories must be relatable. If your prospect does not feel like they can get the same results or that they aren't as good as you, their lack of belief will send them walking away. How will you motivate your team to be productive? Stories. It's what recruited them, and it's what will move them to act. Seeing and hearing stories of people getting qualified, moving up the ranks, cashing checks, earning cars, quitting jobs, going on trips, and changing their lifestyles. These stories are everything. Become a great storyteller. That's it. Short stories. Keep them exciting and keep them coming. A great story will take a life on its own and will keep being told as it travels away from you, like the ripples from a stone in the pond. This is word of mouth marketing. So create great words of mouth ripples. Use events, conference calls, emails, and social media to get the stories out constantly. Congruence. Have you ever felt stuck? Maybe you haven't recruited anyone in a while and you just can't seem to break the streak of no success. This causes you to not feel like picking up the phone and getting any more rejection. You don't feel like talking about the business that day, so you don't. Can you relate? This is critical for you to always remember. You cannot avoid rejection. 90% of people are always going to tell you that your business is not for them. You have to go through the no's to get to the yeses. There is no other way around it. You may not like making calls and accepting no's, but you will like the result and income you will get by doing it consistently enough. Bank on it. So here's what happened to everyone, myself included. You have had a bad day where everyone says no. You wake up the next day and you just cannot get yourself to make some calls. The whole day goes by and you did nothing to grow your business. The next day, you have nagging little feeling of guilt about doing nothing the day before. So you start to internalize it. You question whether you know what you are doing. Does the business work? Is it worth the effort? You know the answer is yes, so you don't quit, but you also do no activity. The next day, that little guilt feeling has mushroomed even bigger. And as time goes on, the guilt turns into self-loathing. You get down on yourself for not performing like you know how you could and should. You begin to beat yourself up and even compare yourself to others. Sadly, this can become a downward spiral that is self-inflicted and hard to break out of. Without being wise enough to seek direct help from an upline expert, some people never recover. Instead of fixing their mindset and bringing their goals and action back into alignment, getting congruent, they quit the business. These are the blamers who walk the earth claiming the business did not work. No, they stop working. Don't be a blamer. Be congruent. Make your activity match up with your why in the business. Pick up the phone and snap back into action. Don't allow yourself to be depressed because it's a form of depression. Your upline can help you snap out of it. How do you stay congruent? There are a few tips. Break the ice by starting your day making 3 to 4 calls early in the morning. By doing this, you will conquer all reluctance. It's picking up the heavy phone to make those first few calls that's the bear. That's the bear. By getting them done quickly and early, you will feel proud of yourself and empowered versus letting the loathing and the guilt from procrastination kick in again. Get those first calls made early and see if you can spark a roll. It's also best to plan your day the night before. If you wake up without a definite plan of attack, you will likely do nothing. Write down some exact things you will accomplish at certain time and keep your plan. 2 jars and some marbles. Get 2 glass jars. On one of them, take pictures of what you're trying to get away from. Jobs, bills, debt, old car. And on the other, take pictures of your why, dreams, kids, Disney World, new car, boat, church, island trip. Then in the first bad jar, put in the number of marbles you intend to make phone calls or exposures for the day. Every time you make call exposure, transfer 1 marble into the good dream jar. Don't let your day end without moving all 5, 10, 20, 30 marbles into the good jar. This will attach why to the actions of making the call and help you track your activity. Here's another way to use the jars to create buy-in with your family. I had a couple in my business with a son and daughter. Understanding that this business required them not to be home a few times a week to attend events, they needed support from the whole family. So they asked their kids what they really want to do. They said they were dying to go to Disney World. So they had the kids cut out pictures of some Disney characters and gathered in the kitchen with a big glass jar and tape. The parents explained that in order to be able to afford the trip to see Mickey was going to require some business meeting a few nights a week and even a weekend or two. So they taped the pictures into the jar and promised that upon returning from every meeting away from home, they would give the kids 50 cents each to put into the jar. When the jar was full, they would buy the tickets and fly to Disney. Guess what they repeated to me one night? Mom and Dad, why are you home tonight? Don't you have a meeting you can go to? We want to go to Disney this year. Go to another meeting. That's called awesome buy-in. Family support is wonderful if you have it, and it can be created if you don't. What really drives you? When we talk about determining what our why is, it seems noble to write down and tell others what we want to succeed for our kids, to help others, or provide for our families. These are surely motivating, but I will say something right now that I have never heard anyone else say from the stage in our industry. More than those worthy and noble reasons for success we mentioned above, the biggest real driver for each of us is really ego. You see, it's totally fine and healthy to have selfish reasons for wanting to win. What every human being wants in life are two main things: love and respect. This drives fuel everything we do, think about, and strive for. When we say we want to be selfless and help others, we can translate that into meaning we want to do so because it makes us feel good about ourselves for doing it. This is actually selfish. You see, it is okay to have selfish drives, especially when others benefit in the process. Think about it. Would you help others if it made you feel bad about yourself afterwards? No, you wouldn't. You help others to help them, but also because you know that you will be proud, pride, ego, of yourself for doing so. Even the person who donates money anonymously, which shows they want no recognition for the deed, still get to benefit knowing in their own head that they helped their fellow man. It cannot be escaped. We can talk it in circles. Bottom line, we get off on being selfish. It feeds our own ego, like it or not. So ego does play the lead role in what motivates each of us. Stop fighting it and embrace it. Here's another example. Someone says they're doing this business for their kid. Wow, that must be really motivate them and move them to act like never before. Well, guess what? It's not really about the kid. If it were about the kid, they'd be doing much more in the business. So attaching their why to their kid isn't working because although noble, it just might not be the biggest driver for them. If they get honest and accept that it's okay for their ego to be a reason to succeed, they might just take off for new heights. We all want to have self-respect. By doing the activity, even though you may dread it, you will respect yourself once you do it. You will be congruent with your goals and action in alignment. Once you have self-respect, only then can you receive the respect of others, which is what every human longs for. Once we love ourselves, others can love us. If we don't love and respect ourselves, we are not able to accept those from anyone else. So, the way I see it, ego is equal to love and respect. A healthy ego is one that's strong yet grounded, is the backbone. You have first to have it in order to give it. So if success in your business will allow you to love and respect yourself more, you will in turn make the world a better place. Motivation or animosity.
Let's take a break for now, Iris. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Do anybody has any questions or any comments? I believe that's enough for today. We read a lot of information. I don't want to do it too much. Any questions? Any comments? Isaac, please go ahead.
I just wanted to comment a little bit. One thing that Helen read, that you listen twice as much as you talk and let your prospect talk themselves into buying it, and then you let them buy it. I mean, that's like gold, okay? It's not like we're selling. No, they're buying, but we're not selling anything. We just let them buy what they want. That's powerful.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Iris, please go ahead. Iris, you raise your hand, but you unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry, I did not hear my name. I just unmute yourself, so I assume it was me. Thank you, Alex. I agree with Isaac for saying that. I think that is really gold for being more a listener, because sometimes we all want to do is talk, so we don't hear whatever the prospect is saying, and we miss the message, their message, or what we want them to be. So, and then the other one is, I like how he presented the marbles. That's eye-opening, putting the marbles on the other side and then you're tracking your activity. That's one way of simply making it simple, that you have to really do the activity to get to the dream, and then away from the problem. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Iris. Nina Denhardo, please go ahead. Nina, you unmute yourself, but we cannot hear you.
Yes, I'm unmute myself.
You want to say something?
No.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I believe we don't have any questions, any comments. Thank you, readers. Isaac, Helen, and Iris. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you next Monday. Enjoy the rally starting Thursday. Take care and good night. Bye-bye.